Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to Energy Frontiers. I am Omono Okonkwo. Here's what's trending in and around Africa's energy industry this week. Total Energies has awarded extensive contracts to Schlumberger for the Tilenga onshore oil development in Uganda. Drilling activities will begin in the fourth quarter of this year. In Tunisia, the government has ratified 5 solar power projects in the country, with a combined output of 500 megawatts at a total cost of $407.9 million. UK-based Bureau Technical Services will provide quality control support to Subsea 7 for the Deepwater Sangoma Field Development Phase 1 project offshore Senegal in West Africa. Angolan state-owned oil and gas company Sonangol is currently developing a green hydrogen production strategy. IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva has said Africa is particularly vulnerable to impacts from the Ukraine war through 4 main channels: increased food prices, higher fuel prices, lower tourism revenues, and more difficulty accessing international capital markets. A recent report from IHS Markit says fossil fuel projects in Africa are likely to face increasing difficulty in finding investment guarantees. On Energy Quick Chat this week, Dr. Omar Farouk Ibrahim, the Secretary General of the African Petroleum Producers Organization, spoke on the importance of fossil fuels for Africa's economic development. And straight on to the excerpts of the roaring presentation given by the APO Secretary General, Dr. Omar Farouk Ibrahim, at the African Local Content Investment Forum held in Lagos, Nigeria, earlier in the week.
Is all hope lost? I do not think so. Africa can still rectify its mistakes. And I see the proactive initiative that the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, under the able leadership of Engineer Simbekesi Obote, has been taking in the past 6 years or so, as directed at changing the predicament we have found ourselves in. In this respect, I would like to point out that a major study commissioned by the APO on the future of the oil and gas industry in Africa, which Mr. Engineer Simbi was a part of, has concluded that the oil and gas industry in Africa shall need a new development model in order to survive the energy transition. If it fails to re-strategize and come up with a new model, it risks losing the 125 billion proven crude oil reserves and the hundreds of trillions of proven gas reserves as stranded assets. The new model sees in greater cooperation and collaboration among African oil and gas producing countries the only way to survive the challenges posed to Africa by the energy transition agenda. Thus, while still encouraging the development of national local content as currently practiced, the model shall also seek to emphasize a continent-wide approach to addressing the funding challenge, the capacity development challenge, the lack of cross-border and regional and sub-regional infrastructure challenge, the technology deficit challenge, and the underdeveloped energy market challenge, using the African Continental Free Trade Agreement as an enabling vehicle. It sees the potential of a huge energy market in empowering the 900 million people in Africa who have no access to any form of modern energy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, lest we are misunderstood, Africa does not contest the science of climate change. We are not against any action that shall make the world a better place for all. What we are saying is that by prioritizing the growth of their national economies and the well-being of their peoples over the health of humankind in the 19th century, today's advanced countries, who are the main champions of climate action and the greatest culprits of atmospheric emissions, have lost their moral right to tell others what their priorities should be in the energy transition agenda. It is high time Africa understood that its salvation lies in its own hands. We cannot continue to look outside for help to save ourselves. We cannot afford to discard what we have in abundance for what we do not have. We will not change from one form of dependence to another form of dependence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I take a critical look at the target publics and institutions for raising the funds to finance energy projects in Africa in the absence of traditional suppliers, as identified by the organizers of this forum, I see that we are yet to fully appreciate the challenge facing our continent. For I see that our proposed solutions is more of the same. And more of the same will not change our situation. When the Americans were confronted with a similar challenge after the Arab oil embargo, they treated the challenge as a matter of national energy security, and their response was crafted accordingly. But what I see us doing is to propose to go to financial institutions to assist raise the funds for our survival. It will not work. None of the financial institutions operating in Africa today can afford to provide all the funds required for the oil and gas industry in Africa to operate and grow, and at the same time to meet their original mandate. It was in recognition of this fact that the Upper Fund for Technical Cooperation was restructured and given a new mandate under a new name, the Africa Energy Investment Corporation, ICOP. Its focus is to fund oil and gas projects as the traditional financiers withdraw from the industry. But we are realistic. ICOP cannot do it alone. No financial institution in Africa today can do it alone. But through cooperation and collaboration, we are confident that Africa shall succeed.
Still on this edition of Energy Frontiers with me, Omona Okonkwo. London Brent crude went up 0.64% to trade at $110.03 USD per barrel. The US WTI went up 0.54% to trade at $106.59 USD per barrel as of early Friday. Natural gas went up 1.23% to trade at $4.68 USD per MMBTU, also on Friday. This week in Algiers, Algeria, a gallon of gasoline cost 175 Algerian dinar. Also in Gitega, Burundi, a gallon of gasoline cost about 10,222 Burundi francs. And that is the package for this edition of your Energy Frontiers. And we thank you for watching. You can follow the show on Frontier Africa Reports website and all our social media accounts as shown on the screen. I am Omona Okonkwo, and I will see you next time.